So now let's go ahead and try and draw a pattern using the draw rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my circle area, and I'm going to go back to my draw rectangle. But this time I just want to draw one rectangle. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to change my for loop to just iterate one time. Okay, and it's going to draw a rectangle. Now I don't want to go for it to go to a random location. I want it to go to the center of the screen. So I'm going to do 0, 0 on both of the X and the Y. And also my size of the circle, I want it to be to move forward 100 spaces, okay, or 100 pixels. Alright, so now we're over here in our draw rectangle function definition, and this is going to be 0, 0, and 100. So what we can do here is we could draw a rectangle, right? But we cannot turn 90. Maybe we could turn a little bit less than 90. Maybe we could turn 80. And let's see what happens, right? We get this kind of a shape. Maybe we can not do the begin fill and the end fill. And let's not turn 80. Let's turn something smaller than 80. Let's do 88. Okay. And we'll run it, and we get this. Right? Doesn't look very interesting, but if we repeat it over and over and over again, we get something kind of interesting. So let's not repeat it 4 times, but let's repeat it 114 times. Right? We get this shape. And if we go ahead and make a small adjustment, and instead of moving forward side, maybe we can increase that over time. Okay, so what we can do is we can use side as a counting variable. So after it moves forward a little bit, we can increase it by 1. So we could say side is equal to side plus 1. And now I didn't tell you about this, but this calculation here, where we increase side by 1, right? It happens so often that in Python they made a shortcut for it. So we can do plus equals 1. And so what this is its shortcut for side is equal to side plus 1. Okay. So let's go ahead and use the shortcut version for it from here on forward. And if we do that, well, it's going to move forward a bit, and then it's going to move forward a little bit more, and then it's going to move forward a little bit more, and so on. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that and see what happens. And we get this. Right? And if we iterate even more times, let's iterate 400 times. Then we get something like this, right? And not only, maybe I could leave it at that and have you all play around with the for loop, right? And how much it moves forward and how much it moves to the left. Maybe an idea that you can have is maybe you could use a counting variable here in the number of degrees that it turns, right? So that it changes over time, and you might get some interesting patterns going on. And maybe this side, you cannot increase it, but maybe you could try decreasing it, right? And see what happens, see what kind of shapes we get. And also you can adjust the size, the number of times that the for loop iterates. So just go ahead and experiment, have some fun with the draw rectangle. And you know, in the beginning of the turtle module, I showed you a lot of different shapes that people have drawn, right? And so maybe you can try to emulate some of those shapes, try to copy them. But just go ahead and poke around and see if there's anything that you can create using the rectangle part of the code.